So if you just feel like order blocks don't work or you just don't know how to use them yet, the odds are you're probably just missing a few things that I'm going to completely cover for free in this video. First, I want to start off by going over what an order block actually is. I know a lot of people online tell you like all these theories of like how it's a bunch of bunched up orders in the market. I personally cannot confirm or deny that. I truly don't care what it is. People love BSing you and they love feeding you all this crap online, telling you the science behind these theories as if that's going to change the way it actually works. Like, no, I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to tell you how to identify it and how I use them. But one thing I cannot tell you is what they actually are composed of, like truly being transparent. I know everyone online says that it's just a bunch of orders being placed in the market and then there's orders pending there and there's support and resistance there. I really don't care. I truly don't give a shit. What an order block is to me is the last bearish move before displacement to the upside. So essentially going to be something like this. It's going to be the last bearish candle before a big displacement to the upside. And then this bearish move is now your bullish order block, right? Or vice versa. The last bullish candle before a displacement to the downside. And then this bullish move here is your bearish order block. Right? Simple as that. It is the last bullish move to the upside before a break to the downside, and it is the last bullish move or last bearish move to the downside before a break to the upside, right? Simple as that. That's as simple as I can put it for you guys, right? There's no, oh, it's orders resting in the market. I don't care what orders are ever resting in the market. This is the way I see the market. It is simple, it is effective, and it truly does work, right? So I want to get over a few rules before I identify a few examples, right? Because I want to make it clear, I will never use an order block by itself to take a trade. An order block is an additional confluence. It is not enough for me to automatically see an order block and enter a trade off it, right? How we use order blocks. Entry triggers, right? An entry trigger does not mean I enter off it being tapped into. An entry trigger means I will enter off the creation of an order block, assuming we are tapping into a different PD rate. For example, here we have a bullish order block. Price tapping into this order block is not enough of a confluence for me to just enter long off that. We could easily just run right through it and disobey it. What would be enough for me to enter this trade is, okay, we have an order block, we have a fair value gap, and look at this. Okay, price also has equilibrium. Right? We tapped all three and we created another bullish order block coming out of all these confluences. That is how I use order blocks as an entry trigger. And I'm going to look for a real life example of this exact setup right now to show you guys how simple and effective aligning order blocks with other PD rays can be. As I said here, I'll use the creation of an order block as an entry trigger. I will not use a tap into an order block as an entry trigger. It is very different. I will align it with other confluences such as I just showed you, OTE, which is Fibonacci, and fair value gaps, right? And I also use them as take profit levels. If I'm shorting and there's a bullish order block, there's a possibility price reverses from it, so I just take profit at that level, right? It's literally that simple. And I'm going to show you guys an example of what I mean by that, right? So in my eyes, a bullish order block would be something like this. The last move to the downside before we broke structure to the upside, right, would actually be this entire leg right here, right? What does price do? I personally draw the order blocks from the top. What does price do? It beautifully respects the body of the first bearish candle. That is how I draw my order blocks. I don't use the entire range simply because it's not as accurate, right? I'll use this, or sometimes I'll even use this. Both of these, in my opinion, were valid order blocks. Why? Bearish move to the downside. This is also like the last bearish candle in theory with the white candle. It has to be a bullish. This is all for bullish order blocks. Okay. This is the way I was taught. This is the way I understand and I actually apply it. That truly does work, right? Bullish candle, bearish candle, bullish breakup structure above both candles, right? We break structure, clean breakup structure. We retrace back into the bodies open of the bearish candle, which is also aligned with the close of the bullish candle before we came down and swept sell side, right? What did I describe an order block was to you guys? The last bearish move before a displacement to the upside. The last bearish move before a displacement. If I draw this out for you guys to the tick, it's the last bearish move before a displacement to the upside. Now, if we grab this and put it up here, what does it show us? What is the last bearish move before a displacement to the upside? I just grabbed real-time price and I showed you guys the exact same example I drew out for you guys earlier, right? I personally love drawing it out from the bodies. It's just a lot more accurate from what I've personally experienced, right? Another example of how I use it as a take profit level could be on the 5 minute. Okay, so in my eyes, this is a bullish order block as well, right? It is a bearish candle before a bullish break of structure. So I can expect price to react off this 5 minute order block. Obviously we ran through it, but this would have been somewhere where I would have maybe expected price to reverse from or to tap into and reject. So what I could have done is this morning I actually took shorts from here, right? I took shorts up here and I took profit around here for a 1-to-1 risk reward, right? If I wanted to hold this short, I could have shorted into this 5 minute order block, right? Which was also aligned with what? Which is also aligned with the 0.79 Fibonacci tool. So you can see how those confluence kind of align. Did any of them hold? Absolutely not, right? But the way I trade, I'd rather be safe than sorry. That is how I trade personally. That is what works best for me, right? So this example in specific is a type of order block. This is not a textbook order block where you get a clean break of structure, but this is what is known as a change in state and delivery. And this is my favorite entry confluence. I enter all my trades based off this. It is essentially going to be a sweep of buy side, right? And then a bearish candle closure below the last move to the downside before the sweep of buy side. So we grab the body, right? The body of the closure of the last move to the downside before we came back up and swept sell side. And you wait for a bearish candle closure below that. And this would be your short entry targeting whatever your objective would be, which in my system would be these lows right here, right? And this in itself is a trade, a change in state and delivery. I'm gonna show you guys how I took it today. As you can see, we sweep all these highs. And then what do? Bearish candle, sweep above the bearish candle, candle closure below the last bearish candle before we swept the high. If that's a bit confusing, just rewatch it a few times. It'll make sense, I promise, right? Simple as this. Bearish candle, sweep of bearish candle, high. What was the last move to the downside before sweep of buy side? The same candle. Here, what do? We close below its body, not its wick, its body. We don't need the wick to close, just the body, right? This candle closes below this candle's body. That is a change in state and delivery. What does price do? It wicks into it, rejects. That is our entry, right? Stops above that high and run it, right? I personally entered off this candle, as I mentioned earlier, to this low. I had a late entry to this, but the entire trade is based off the fact that this was a change in state and delivery off the high of the move, right? What would a bullish change in state and delivery look like? It would look something like this. Last move to the upside before a sweep of sell side. Oh, look at that. It's this candle, right? What do? We sweep that candle's low, right? And then we get a candle closure above it. Where do we draw it from? We draw it from the body's closure. We bring it along, CISD. Look how beautifully price taps into that before pushing higher. And that was the low of a 250 point move off a change in state and delivery. And I'm sure if we wanted to, we could easily align that with some sort of Fibonacci leg amongst, yep. So we tap into 0.79 of the range. We push higher, we get a bullish change in state and delivery. This is all real time, by the way. I don't know what happened pre-market. I don't trade pre-market, so I really don't care. But you can see how I show you guys my system in real time and how it all aligns with order blocks. Order blocks should never be your main confluence. Order blocks should always be aligned with other PDRAs, such as OTE, fair value gaps, and used as entry triggers, right? So here we sweep this low. What is the last bullish candle before we sweep this low? This one right here at 8:41 a.m. What do we do here at 8:51? We close above it. In this case, we close above its wick, right? Does that really matter? It does not matter. As long as we close above, price could have closed here, by the way, below its wick. Would that be a break of structure to the upside? No, price would still technically be in bear structure, but we did change the state of delivery to the upside because we closed above the body's closure. That is how this theory works, right? And from there, you can see price retraces into it. Oh, let's see what it also retraces into, right? It also retraced into 0.5 of the range. So it is 0.618 of the range, aligned with the CISD, aligned with a fair value gap. Is this not the exact same? Rewind this video back to the first 2 minutes of this video. Is this not the exact same textbook model I tried showing you guys up here? Right? Maybe not here, it's gone. But is this not the same thing I showed you guys? Order block, OTE, and then an entry based off that with an FEG. What do we get here? Order block, or sorry, CISD, OTE, fair value gap, and then you get a displacement to the upside. What is this? Let's take a look at what this is. We tap into all these confluences. Oh, look at that. Let's see. We swept these lows. What is the last bullish candle before we swept these lows? Oh, it's this one. Oh, we also get an inverse fair value gap. Oh, we also closed above this bullish candle. Okay. So now we have all the confirmation in the world. Price could have closed here, by the way. It still would have been a nice trade. To take your long. Take your long to what, you ask? I don't know. Whatever your draw might be in mind. Let's see if we have some sort of session liquidity. We don't. Price swept everything pre-market. Take it to this high if you desire, right? Those overnight highs, right? Simple as that. That is how I use order blocks to enter. That is how I apply change in state and deliveries on a day-to-day basis. I wait for price to provide an order block aligned with a fair value gap aligned with OTE, and then I'll use a clean breakup structure that gives me an order block, or I'll use a CISD to provide that entry for me, right? Also, this becomes a bearish order block once price actually breaks below the wick, right? So this swing low that price put in, when price breaks below and closes below this wick, this is now a bearish order block, right? This entire move to the upside is now a bearish order block. However, and you could use this order block as your entry to the downside with the theorem in place that this order block should hold and price should not push any more above it. So simply off that, you can enter short if you have the right bias. Obviously, you can't just short you cannot just short when an order block is created hoping that it's going to dump, right? Today the bias was bearish. Everything about today was bearish. There's literally no reason for price to push higher. We had we had Asian lows, we had New York PM lows, we edged New York lunch lows, but essentially everything about price was bearish. If we grab our fib from here, we can actually see what price just does. We are inside our golden range, which is 0.618 to 0.705. We sweep this high, right? So we now have an internal sweep of buy side inside a golden pocket. So we have this golden range of price, meaning what? Meaning price should, in theory, push lower off this zone, right? We sweep an internal high inside this zone. We then sweep another internal high and close below its original move to the downside before the last move to the upside. This, you could either mark it for a bearish one, or same thing for the bullish. You can either mark it from the bearish candle's closure or from the bullish candle's open. It typically won't give you much of a difference unless there's some stupid volume imbalance like this candle here. But this is a beautiful setup, right? OTE, internal sweep, changes in delivery to the downside, targeting these lows with a bearish bias as well, right? Textbook, right? So what did you learn from today? Do I use order blocks to enter trades as a confluence in the same way that I use fair value gaps, in the same way that I use OTE? No, I use order blocks, which was what I call change in state and deliveries. A CISD is a type of order block. It is what happens before an order block is formed, right? Like you notice up here, a CISD happens, and then price taps into it, pushes lower, and creates an order block. So in a sense, you're pre-firing an order block being created, which an order block is created by a breakup structure. So you are pre-firing a breakup structure with the right confirmation and the right tools aligning with price, right? So like I said, OTE, which is, there's also a big imbalance here. I'm sure if we go on the hourly, there's an hourly gap. So OTE aligned with, did we even respect that, or did we inverse that? Wow, we did inverse this gap. Or no, that's way too close to call. Price is bearish. Let's just call it a 15-minute bearish gap. All right, 15-minute bearish gap, which there was there. Inside OTE of the range, we swept an internal high, and then we got that beautiful change in state and delivery to the downside. This is a textbook setup for you guys to understand how I use CISDs and how I apply them as order blocks in the market as entry triggers, right? If you guys want, I can go more into detail about how I use order blocks as TPs as well. I kind of showed you guys earlier, like for example, this order block held. I would not expect it to hold again. I would expect price to just run through it as we just created this low resistance liquidity. But yeah, if you guys want me to explain in more detail how I use order blocks, I believe I covered everything there is to know about it. And with that, here comes an end to the video. Test this out for yourself. Forward test it, back test it if you need to, whatever you need to do. Let me know how you like it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I will be here to answer. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.